Fine, paying money as a penalty for breaking rules or laws. Imprisonment, being put in jail or prison for a certain period of time. Community service, doing unpaid work for the benefit of the community, like cleaning up parks or helping at a charity. Probation, being allowed to stay out of jail as long as you follow certain rules and meet specific conditions set by a court. House arrest, being confined to your home instead of going to jail, usually monitored with electronic devices. Capital punishment, death penalty, being executed by the state as punishment for a serious crime. Solitary confinement, being kept alone in a small cell for a certain amount of time as punishment. Public humiliation, being embarrassed or shamed in front of others as a form of punishment. Restitution, paying money or providing services to make up for harm done to someone else. License suspension, having your permission to do something, like drive a car, taken away for a period of time. Confiscation of property, having your belongings or assets taken away as a penalty for wrongdoing. Banishment, exile, being forced to leave your home or community and live somewhere else as punishment. Corporal punishment, being physically punished, such as being hit or whipped. Forced labor, being made to work against your will as punishment for a crime. Rehabilitation programs, participating in programs designed to help individuals overcome criminal behavior and reintegrate into society. Electronic monitoring, wearing devices that track your movements as a condition of parole or probation. Loss of privileges, having certain rights or privileges taken away, like visiting privileges or access to amenities. Demotion, being moved to a lower position or rank as a consequence of misconduct. Social ostracism, being excluded or ignored by others in your community as punishment. Revocation of professional licenses, having licenses or certifications necessary for certain jobs or professions taken away. Educational requirements, being required to attend classes or workshops as part of the punishment. Curfew, being required to be home by a certain time each day and not allowed to leave during specific hours. Restraining orders, court orders that prohibit contact with certain individuals or entering specific areas. Mandatory counseling or therapy, being required to attend counseling sessions or therapy sessions as part of the punishment. Forfeiture of assets, having property or assets seized by the government as punishment. Forced apology, being required to publicly admit guilt or express remorse for wrongdoing. Travel restrictions, being prohibited from traveling to certain places or leaving the country. Prohibition from owning firearms, being legally forbidden from possessing firearms as punishment for a crime. Banned from certain locations or establishments, being prohibited from entering specific places or establishments. Forced sterilization, having surgery to prevent reproduction as a punishment. Chemical castration, undergoing treatment to reduce sexual urges or fertility as a punishment. Revocation of parental rights, having legal rights as a parent taken away by the court. Forced separation from family, being separated from family members as punishment. Shaming rituals, public ceremonies or actions designed to humiliate or embarrass individuals as punishment. Loss of voting rights, being prohibited from voting in elections as a result of a criminal conviction. Forced resignation, being compelled to resign from a job or position as a consequence of misconduct. Public service announcements, making public announcements or campaigns to educate or inform others about consequences of certain actions. Corporal mutilation, suffering physical harm such as branding or cutting as punishment. Expulsion from school, being removed from a school or educational institution as punishment. Forced participation in activities, being required to take part in activities that are unpleasant or dangerous as punishment. Deportation, being expelled from a country and sent back to one's home country as punishment. Civil penalties, paying money or facing other consequences as a result of a civil lawsuit or legal action. Asset seizure, having assets or property seized by authorities as punishment. Public censure, being publicly criticized or condemned as a form of punishment.